Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. We've got some news today about, well, some somewhat unexpected summoning events happening this weekend. So we were expecting it to be a 2x Sacred Shard event this weekend, but that is not happening. Instead, it's going to be a 2x Void Shard event that's going to be running over the weekend. So hopefully you're still well set for the fusion. If you're going for the fusion, obviously they've been breaking this kind of more recently. Like, I've been playing the game for 3 years, and they've been, I'd say, for like the first 2.5 years, they were almost like clockwork and going sacreds, voids, ancients, sacreds, voids, ancients for the 2x events. In the last 6 months, they've started to tweak it. There's just nothing we can do about that, right? It's just, you just sort of have to now start to expect the unexpected. There's nothing we can do. Now there's sacred events, sorry, not sacred, primal events they can throw in as well. So it is what it is. Honestly, it just makes fusions harder. You can never be quite sure what's coming in Champion Chase. Simple as that. Anyway, it's going to be 2x Void Shards. So that's what it is. It's going to be 2x Void Champion Chase. This was actually posted, shared in my Discord by Eherbad right here. It's a little small, but you can hopefully see in a 2x Champion Chase, each Void Shard is worth approximately 100 points, 104 to be exact. So yeah, that's sort of what you can expect for going into it. Like, if you need 2,500, like 2,500 points, you're going to need about 25 Void Shards, something along those lines. So yeah, it's a little bit rough. Now, the good news is we do have two 10x events, which are going to be overlapping this. The first one, actually, let me double check it. I think the first one is on Friday, and the second one is on Saturday. Of course, each one is up for 24 hours. If you want to pull in the Void 2x without any of the 10x events on, you can do that on Sunday, although that is Christmas Eve. So do be careful about that, right? You might not have much time for gaming. Who are these champions? The first one is brand new. It's the new Void Legendary, Carolon the Ringer. He is going to be on a 10x event overlapping the 2x Void on Friday. I'm not so sure that this is a great idea. We look at his initial reviews, they're a little underwhelming. He's very popular for Spider, for Faction. You know, that it sort of falls off. He's not badly rated in Arena or Campaign, but it raises some questions. He has a fantastic aura, there's no question. 30% speed in Arena, that's brilliant. Cool. His A1 is an AoE attack with 35 going to 50% to decrease the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn on an A1. It's not bad. I think one of the problems we're going to see is he gets very flustered by Stone Skin, right? Very, very flustered. And yeah, you could A1 instead, but to me, that's not very compelling, right? You'll have a 50% chance to try to strip their buff, and then there's another 50% roll on top of that it would strip the Stone Skin. So it's like 25% chance, really, to strip the Stone Skin from a particular enemy. That's just not particularly good. Like, it's a good A1. This is a great A1 just to sort of be spamming out. You know, within the battle, that's great. Decreasing duration of buffs does not proc polymorph, so that's great. But yeah, he's got some other problems. His A2 Canticle of Cold is a 3-turn cooldown AoE. When booked up, it's a 100% chance to put Hex and Weaken for 2 turns. If they're frozen, it's for 3 turns. I don't see the frozen benefit as being particularly good. Like, it's got pretty good uptime anyway. And Hex and Weaken, they're not particularly valuable debuffs in Arena. Right? I would say the most valuable area for these is going to be Hydra, but he's a freeze champion, and freeze does nothing in Hydra, at least as of right now, so not particularly enticing. I'll say that. Again, in Arena, this is a big risk with Polymorph, for you to get Polymorphed, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Let's look at his A3. We'll talk about Curse City then, because maybe Curse City is where he comes into it. Polar Vortex, 5-turn. This books to a 3-turn cooldown. Places freeze debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Fully depletes the turn meters of all enemies that receive freeze. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 10% for each freeze debuff attempt blocked or resisted by the enemy team. So if this fails, yes, it's a turn meter boost for you. Okay, cool. That's something you could do against, you know, a Stone Skin team, I suppose. But you really want to be freezing with this. You know, freezing someone and fully depleting their turn meter. Yes, that's very strong. His passive lets you ignore defense extra if he places the freeze against frozen targets. So that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm looking at him in Arena. You're going in. I'm going, you want to open with Polar Vortex, obviously. But if they're in Stone Skin, if they have a cleanser that can come in and cleanse this off, like someone that's pretty fast, like a Mithrala or an Elva, probably something like that, that becomes a bit sketchy. Again, so many champions are built in Stone Skin that are supports right now. Who is not going to be in Stone Skin in Arena? They're damage dealers. So yeah, you could do that. But if there's a Necret in there, you're in trouble. If they're a defense damage dealer, they got Polymorph, you could get frozen. I don't. There's problems with this. I think. I'm not super enticed by this, and I think nearly all the revivers, like the Marishka, is pretty likely to be in Stone Skin. You know, Duchess in Stone Skin, Elva, Python, Stone Skin, and Cleansing. So it's very, very questionable. I don't know. What do you guys think about Carolon the Ringer? He's brand new. He looks cool, like nice Revenant Santa Claus. That's awesome. But I'm not super convinced, honestly. And I think even the Polymorph nerf, it's going to make him less vulnerable to being polymorphed on the freeze and on these debuffs. Yeah, that's going to help. But I think he's still going to be vulnerable to polymorph and vulnerable to Stone Skin. When you get later in the fight, yeah, he'll be good. But I don't know. I guess like you could have really fast champions as well, and like maybe the new supersonic set, like speed boosters, but you're sort of relying on your thing there to be able to go first and freeze them. If they outspeed you, again, you're in trouble. So I'm not convinced. Now, the other option on Saturday, he's right beside him actually, is Jorgid the Breaker. Now, Jorgid the Breaker, unlike Carolon, who's got questionable value, Jorgid the Breaker has absolutely proven value of being fantastic. This passive makes him just insane. Crack any shell, 50% chance to ignore 50% defense from each hit on his skills. That's just crazy good, right? You give him Savage, you give him Helm Smasher, he can ignore everything. With Merciless set, he's going to be ignoring a ton. Even like Merciless set now is 35% defense ignore. You can ignore with this potentially 85% of their defense without Helm Smasher even needing to proc. You know, it becomes kind of insane. His A3 is nuts. This basically ignores every defensive buff in the game. Stone Skin, unkillable, block damage, ally protection, shield strength, and increased defense. Everything. Extra turn if he kills an enemy. Then he has an AoE that can deplete turn meter. Okay, cool. And gives him unkillable. If he kills somebody, his A1 even has a chance to repeat and absolutely destroy people. He's got huge attack. He's super squishy, but I tell you, Jorgid hits unbelievably hard. Like, if you're looking for an attack-based damage dealer, he out-damages every single champion in the game. He's insane. Obviously, if you ever are lucky enough to pull a Necret, the great. They're an insane combo as well. Necret protects Jorgid. The ally attack is terrifying. Yeah, Jorgid is extremely strong from all levels of Arena. So I'd be going for Jorgid first. I would. I think Jorgid is very good as well for Cursed City. Maybe Carolon's going to be good for Cursed City, you know? Like, maybe against some Bommel levels. Like, yeah, okay, he's going to bring a Hex and Weaken. It's okay, I guess. And he's got the Freeze. Like, that's decent against Bommel. He's obviously got really good control for some waves, right? Knight's Revenant, Void support. There's certainly going to be some Cursed City stages where that AoE freeze is going to be insane. And the Hex and Weaken's going to be insanely good. And he's got some AoEs. Like, you could maybe get him in a Provoke set or something. I don't know. Like, you could do something cool. He's going to be good at that. But to me, when it's the choice really between the two, I'd definitely be going for Jorgid. And honestly, if I already had Jorgid, I might be tempted to go for Carolon then. But like Jorgid, I tell you, he's a champion you want to empower. He really thrives off of empowerment. So if you already have Jorgid, you might just go for another Jorgid. Hey, if you got a +4, yeah, okay. If you got a +4 Jorgid, that's nice. You got 5 more Jorgids than I have. Congratulations. Then you might go for Carolon, but I don't know. I'm not super sold. Let me know. What do you think? Do you like Carolon the Ringer? What are you going to go for? I'm personally going to pull my shards now on Saturday for the Fusion. I'm going for the Fusion. So yeah, I'm going to hope to pull the Jorgid. That'd be pretty fun to get a Jorgid. He's very, very cool champion. The Merciless set is absolutely insane as well. So that would make him even more disgusting. But yeah, let me know. What do you guys think? I'll see you all next time for the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.